Well, hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for hanging out with me again today. Today's going to kind of be a little bit of a talking head video, just some updates of what's going on. First off is thanks so much to everybody out there for all the compliments on the Bigwig. It seemed like everybody really enjoyed seeing that old rusty, crusty vintage look to it, and I really enjoyed doing it. I know it kind of sounded like I was complaining a little bit about the wiring and all that stuff, but it was a pain in the ass. I don't like wiring, so you know, just doing that much all at one time is a little bit much, but it's all worth it in the end. As soon as it lights up and rumbles to life, you know, you kind of stop worrying about how much time it did take. But I'm glad everybody liked it. I had fun doing it. Still need to get the turn signal fixed, but kind of, you know, that'll get done when it gets done. It fits with the truck. You know, it's an old beat up, tired old truck. Maybe the turn signal just doesn't work. I don't know. But I will get that out, get that running at some point. I do have to venture out to a parking lot at some point because I need to get this guy run, because this has the fast motor set up in it. So this has the Castle Creations 7700 kV motor with the Sidewinder 4 in it, and has the speed gears on it. So I don't even remember what initial speed we did with it, 60, 52, 62. I don't know. I'll put it here. But this should get us into the 80s, I believe. How far I'm going to push it after that, we'll see how well it performs. But the motor and ESC may come out of it temporarily. Alright, we'll get the body clips back in there later, because this guy is going to have to get run fairly soon. And yes, it's kind of stiff. I need to change the springs back here to soften it up a little bit. Front, kind of want that nice and firm, but the rear I would like to have a little bit more squish to it, which is easy. I got the springs right here. They have the softer rate springs for the rear, so I'll get those stuck on. Basically, you know, just toss it together. This is a 30-minute paint job and sticker setup. Had some leftover paints. The green color was left over from the Mystery Machine build. God, that's been 3 years ago, probably. And the gunmetal color, I had just a tiny little bit left in a can, just enough to, you know, spread some across the nose and get just enough on the back. I didn't even have enough to get up underneath the wing, but you know, just kind of breaks it up, gives it a two-tone look. And the decals are all just random stuff that I had. So the decals on here are rejects from MCI. Basically, you know, something went wrong in the print process, and you know, something wasn't quite right. So either Nathaniel didn't continue with it and put the colors on it, or for some reason the white is the only thing that printed. But I got a bunch of random sheets of stuff from him a year or two ago, probably 2 years ago now, and I've just been kind of using them here and there on other projects. But the white decals were like the base colors or generic start for the Terra Scorcher and something else. I don't remember. Both of them were right along the ways, along the same lines. But the only other decals on there are the Addam's Playground stickers. I mean, got little tiny ones here and a big one here. And everything else just came off of those sheets. And I just kind of cut them to fit and flow with the car the best I could. Kind of has that grasshopper wing look to it, especially here. But yeah, I'm just goofing off using what I had. I wasn't going to stick a whole bunch of time and investment into the body, because I know this whole thing is going to get shredded. This whole thing might just come completely off. I don't know. We're going to have to see. I believe we're going to see a lot of carnage this year. I think it's going to be crazy. I may stick the smaller actual grasshopper tires on the front And like I said, I have some extra holes back here. I may try to lay down the rear a little bit more. I can also shorten the shocks up some, and put limiters on them to kind of suck it down and just have a little tiny bit of play. Now, the adjustable motor mount thing that I used, you know, it's going to give you some advantage because, you know, you can go up in teeth, but not much. I got a 19 tooth on there, and that's all that will fit into that little opening in the chassis, into the rear end. Now, guys have said that they have put the pinion on and the motor kind of in place before they put the chassis together, so you can fit like a 20 tooth, or I think maybe even a 21 tooth in there, if you do that. But and I wasn't trying to get that crazy with it quite yet. But it just has oil shocks in the front, oil shocks in the rear. The extensions are nice. You know, that stiffens up the rear, gives the shock somewhere else to kind of pivot out of the way to clear the big motor. And the longer shock ends, you do have to mount your shocks kind of flipped upside down, which isn't ideal, but it's the only way to get the shock to not hit up here. Just the way those cups are in the top, you can't get the shock up in there tight enough to get the bolt through without the shock binding. So just flip them upside down. Wheelie bar, that will catch with these big tires on here. If I go up in size on the tires, which I do have some that may get swapped out. Don't know. The foams have done me really well, so we may just call it good with what's on what we get the foams. But again, I may put the smaller grasshopper tires on there just to get this front down just a little bit more, and we'll probably stick a few ounces of weight in the front. Depending, I'm going to take all that stuff with me. I'm going to take the different shock parts and stuff like that. If I do need to make changes, I can pull the shocks apart real quick, shorten them up. I can put weight in the front pretty quickly, just pop the body off, stick a few ounces of weight in the front, keep that down. I can also adjust the front shocks to get the front down a little bit more. So, you know, I'm going to try to get kind of most of the run done in one day with this. But again, I got to get this one run first. And you know, speaking of running, when we get those out in the parking lot, I might as well take this guy with me and get this running. So I will, this is the TL01 with the Martini livery Alfa Romeo on there. And Nani, I don't know if you saw it in the pictures before or if I got good pictures of it, but I can't remember the driver's name, but it was something Nani. And I just chopped it off in commemorative of my buddy Nani, and thought that was funny. I didn't know if I mentioned it before or if I got a good up-close picture of it. But this, I mean, I'll have a dedicated video of it and running and all that stuff. Otherwise, I still need to get the MRC Thunder King out and run. Because I need to get the semi out and run it to get a full run video of that. The custom lunchbox I need to get back on, and then I'm gonna. Oh, my Bigwig. I got the notification that that's shipping, so that should be here soon. I have the sledgehammers, the Traxxas sledgehammers that I want to get rebuilt. One will be kind of for running, one will be just for shelf. And then I've got more kits coming, you know, the pre-orders. I got the Mini on pre-order, got the Honda City Turbo on pre-order, got the June Watanabe Hornet on pre-order. Once the Black Edition Grasshopper is available, I will get that on pre-order. And then, you know, we've got the closet of kits over there. So, lots of stuff coming. Just spent all weekend hanging doors and doing around the house stuff this weekend. And nothing much RC happened over the weekend. So anyway, guys, that's it for today. You know, jibber jabber, what's coming up. And until next time, everybody out there, be happy, be healthy, be safe, and I will catch you guys later. See ya.